Hey everyone, it's Ted from GoHighlevel Kickstarter. And in this video, we're going to be covering how to set up your business name, logo, and email address. This is the first step towards launching your digital identity and becoming a real business owner. All of these things don't have to be perfect, but it has to feel real and trustworthy. So in this lesson, we're going to be covering how to choose a business name people take seriously, how to create a professional logo, and how to set up a real business email tied to your domain. It's not about just looking good. It's about building trust before you try to sell anyone anything. So let's go over why this first step is so important. Before anyone buys anything from you, they're going to look you up. Especially as a business they've never heard of, they're going to be looking for social proof, such as online reviews, testimonials, any credentials that you can have that will make your audience think that this business is worth spending on. I can trust this business. So we're going to need a name that sounds credible, a clean and sharp logo, and a real business email, not just a Gmail. So all these things will magically get you clients, but it will help people take you seriously. And that's really important when starting your business. So before even thinking about your branding and your offer, you're going to need to come up with your name, logo, and email address. Those are just the basic things you need for the business setup. So lucky for you, we're going to be going over all those things today. And it's really easy to do and simple. So first off, step one, let's pick a strong business name. Your business name sets the tone for what people will expect from your business, your product, your services, your employees. It's the first thing people will remember, and it can impact whether they trust you, buy from you, or recommend you. That's why we recommend these types of principles when naming your business. So for example, in our business, we started out as Vico's online consultant, as you can see here. And over the years, we've ended up rebranding to Lead Estate LLC. This is one really good case study example of what to think about when picking your business name. If you decide to go with your own name, like in this first type of naming structure, like Vico Consulting, is great for personal brands or one-on-one services, but it's not great for longevity. If you ever want to scale out of your business or sell it to someone else, no one's going to be buying a business with your name attached to it. So just keep that in mind. Another naming strategy that works as well is picking your niche/result. And that's essentially what we did. Our business generates leads for real estate agents. And so this name reflects that, Lead Estate. So that is an example of a niche plus result naming convention. So for example, is the niche you're in plus the result you're promising to them. So lead flow AI, real estate funnels is a good example of this. It's ideal for SaaS and agencies that solve a clear problem. It helps your audience immediately recognize what your business does. And the third one is a short brandable name. This could be something like Vico's, Zapgenix, GoNest. It's best for scalable or software first businesses. So these are going to be the more short and catchy, trendy names that you can do. It could be a combination of a real word and something else, or it can just be a combination of two words that give iconography of your business or service. So if this seems a little overwhelming, we simplify this process a lot with AI tools. So here's an AI prompt to help you generate some business names. So we can go ahead and go into ChatGPT here, and I'm going to copy and paste this prompt and fill in the brackets. So we're in ChatGPT, and the prompt is as follows. Give me 10 brandable business name ideas for a type of business. So ours is going to be a real estate marketing agency, for example, that helps target audience. Let's see. So our target audience is going to be real estate agents in Australia. And it's good to be as specific as possible here so that the AI can give you a proper answer. And what is the main problem we're solving? Let's see. So the main problem we're solving is we're offering AI automation for appointment setting, emails, and that's essentially GoHighlevel. So given all this information you put in, you can go ahead and type enter. And then we're going to want to go here to search the web as we're searching for business names with available.com domains. And this will be important for later. And then we're going to wait for the response to generate. And here's the answers that ChatGPT came up with. So we have 10 examples here. We can look for one that catches our eye. So I'm thinking long-term for my business name here. And even though having something like Australia in the name could be strong and apply to local audiences, I want to think about maybe international scaling. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a name that doesn't have any region-specific iconography. This is something to think about too when picking your business name. Is years down the line will just be a name that still applies to your business and your services. You can always rebrand in the future, but it's a good idea to pick a strong name at the start, and that will help increase the likelihood for your business to succeed. So looking at these other names here at a glance, I like this one, Smart Listing Hub. I think it's a good general name that I can see being scalable in the future, and it has a .com site available. So let's go ahead and pick this name to start. And we're going to be creating a new document to keep track of all the assets we're generating from AI. Okay, so let's create a Google Doc for this. So I'm just going to title it Business resources. And then we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this list here just to have, and we can give it a title, potential names. And then the one I like the most was this one right here, smartlistinghub.com. So we'll go ahead and put that here as a priority. And then we're going to move back to our document here. So once we pick the business name, the next step here is to secure the domain. So we're going to be using GoDaddy for this. So just go to GoDaddy.com to pick the business name. Okay, so now that we're in GoDaddy, let's follow the steps here in the document. So we're just going to search for your business name. So our business name we have here is Smart Listing Hub. So once we search our name here, you can see the domains available. And I'm currently filming this from Thailand, so this price is in Thai baht. The conversion rate is approximately 35 Thai baht to $1. So some of these names, for example, are going for around $1 a year, $3 a year. So even if you can't find the exact perfect name, we're going to look for the best possible option, and we can come back here. So then when searching for your business name, the domain extension, the best rule of thumb is to go for a .com available. It has global trust and credibility. But a lot of these will be taken, especially if you pick a generic sounding or popular name. Then using a local ending website could be better too, like this one's for Thailand.th or .au for Australia. This will help for local search engine optimization and finding your business, but it could be detrimental long-term. And then there's a .io or a .ai as well. You might see these popping up a lot recently. These are really popular and it's good for tech companies or software as a service. This extension is associated with those kind of services. All right, so let's go back here with those things in mind. So our original name was Smart Listing Hub. So let's see if we have smartlistingshub.com is available. And this is very cheap. Wow. This is 1.3 baht a year. So it's about 3 cents a year. And we can just add that to cart. All right, now that that's added to cart, we just want to double check that everything is correct. Make sure you're reading the terms and conditions for the pricing. So here it says only for the first year when selecting a 3-year period for that rate. So keep that in mind. Then you're going to be prompted to this page here, and they're going to have a couple of upsells for you. I'd recommend just getting the basics for now. You can always upgrade later when your business might need some of these other features like domain protection. But for now, we can just go to checkout. And you want to be double checking that you're getting the actual price that they're saying in the promotion. So then this one is 33% off right here. So our total is going to be 1,400, which is about $50 for having this domain for 3 years, which I think is not a bad deal considering it's a .com domain. So then you proceed here and purchase your website, and there you go if you have this domain available to you. But here's a couple of tips to keep in mind before buying your domain. Try to avoid using a personal name since it'll be hard to sell the business later. Pick an extension that fits your long-term goal. And then this is something you have to think about, local presence or global reach. And so that's where sometimes people would consider getting the country-specific extensions here. And then if you're unsure, just go with .com as the most widely trusted. So I think this is a safe bet here and a reasonable price. So once your name is locked in, the next step is giving your brand a visual identity, a logo that looks sharp and professional. So there's a couple ways to do that here. Definitely, we're going to be leveraging AI tools to make it a lot easier and more streamlined to get to your logo. You can work smart with AI tools. For example, we're going to be going over a tool called Lookup, and this produces simple logo designs in seconds that you can take for inspiration. So we're going to be going through the step-by-step now. Step 3 in this entire process is to be creating a clean logo. You don't need to be a designer. You just need to make one that looks professional. So we can go ahead and start with our friend ChatGPT here. It's a starting point to generate design ideas. This will help you come up with some icons, some imagery to put inside your logo. And then afterwards, we're going to be using those outputs from ChatGPT and going into Looka, our AI app here, to help you generate some examples. And then you can pay for Looka Premium to get the logos directly from here. And this is where your process can end. Or you can go to Canva here for your final step as a free option. Canva has a variety of templates that you can choose from and then design your logo. So we're going to go ahead and be going through these steps together. So the first step, AI prompt generation here. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this into our ChatGPT. So let's go into ChatGPT here and customize it. So give me 5 to 7 modern logo ideas for a company called. So our company is called Smart Listing Hub. The company helps target audience will be real estate agents in Australia with similar to the information we're going to be providing above here. We can even take this, offering AI automation for appointment setting, emails, SMS marketing, and then we can copy and paste it here. Go ahead and wait for this response. Well, so these answers will help you come up with the symbols that you're going to be wanting to use. There's some design examples here. You can already see these look not bad. They're just take and use right away. Customizable as well. You can also ask ChatGPT for customizable versions of this. There's just a bunch of random assets you can use. You can also save it here too. Business resources document and have a section for assets. And you never know when these will come up later. You can have these for examples as well. But for now, we're going to be going on to the text answers here. So then these are some symbol examples because a logo, modern logos usually have a small symbol right here and then some text as well as a little tagline describing your services. So this ChatGPT prompt is to help you find this symbol here, the little picture. So here are some ideas: connected nodes in a house shape, which can get AI driven. There's a calendar with a check mark, chat bubble with a house silhouette. I think that's a pretty good idea. Abstract circuitry forming at home, not bad either. Hub and spoke diagram with real estate elements, could be interesting. Infinity symbol incorporating a roof line, shows this one here. I think this one looks really nice actually. And then the minimalist map pin with a digital twist, a location pin infused with digital elements. So these are just some examples we have. So we can go ahead and just copy and paste this to have for later. So you can make another section here, and then we can title it logo imagery. And then we have all that here just for idea generation, all in one place. And so ChatGPT actually gave us some examples of that. So I really like this image here. I'm going to go ahead and just save it. So now that we have this step done, we have some iconography that we could refer to right here. An idea. We're going to go into our next AI tool right now, which is Lookup. And right here, you can enter your company name. Our company name, for example, was Smart Listing Hub. And then we're going to look for our niche, which is going to be in real estate. And then we can just pick a logo that we like for inspiration. I like the logos that they came up with here. Fortunately, there's not exact examples, but this is all just to help you get inspired for designing your own graphic. So we can pick a similar one that has good eye-catching imagery. So for example, let's see, we want something real estate related. I think, for example, this one could be not bad. Home space. We would just change the image here. We can go ahead and click on this icon and pick some colors we like. We're going back to our list of iconography here, as well as our examples here. I think the color orange stands out. I'm going to go ahead and pick orange. And then the slogan here, we can even ask ChatGPT to help us with this. You can just type a simple prompt like, I've come up with a slogan for my business using the information from our previous prompt. This slogan should be short, actionable, and fit nicely onto a logo. So even with just simple instructions like this, leveraging AI tools will help you quickly develop resources for your business. So you can see here that there's already a couple examples. Some of these look not bad at a glance, and you can definitely use it for inspiration. You can remove the background and have it in your own Canva design here. So now that we have the results for our slogan options here, I'm just going to pick a short and easy one: automate, communicate, and close. And then we're going to go ahead and just put it here. And then we can look for some symbol types. So I liked the home and infinity symbol a lot in this previous example here. So we can look for one that's similar to that. So we would want a building, innovation, maybe abstract, roof, and then star. Sure, let's see. So then this AI is very effective for helping create logos, just with those simple prompts that will design you a handful of logos here. If you have the paid plan, you could purchase these logos and use them as is. But for the demonstration in this video, I'm going to just be taking the inspiration from these logos and we're going to be designing them fully in Canva. This is just another resource you can use to help generate ideas. So for example, let's say I like this design. It's very clean. You can quickly tell what the business is about. The text here at the bottom can just be changed a bit to be a little bigger and more clear to read. Now, once you have all these examples here, you can even see here they have some previews of how it would look on Facebook, for example, or on a physical folder. So you would just use these as inspiration. And so there's a lot available to you. You can see the payment options here. You can get it for $20 for a low-res image, one-time purchase. So that's why we're just going to be using this here as inspiration. Now that we have a couple of these ideas here, we can maybe take a screenshot like that. And then we can just take our screenshot here and then we can put it in our resources folder. So there's just a couple more examples right here. And yeah, we're going to be actually designing our logo itself in Canva. So here are some design tips for the logo. Make sure it's clean, bold fonts only for easy readability. There should be a maximum of 2 colors just for visual clarity and organization. And then a horizontal layout fit headers better. So you're going to be wanting a logo that's more wide than it is long. And that's just better for marketing. So we'll be moving on to the step-by-step guide now. You go into Canva first, and then we're going to be looking up logo here. And Canva has over 20,000 different templates that we can take a look at here. And our business is going to be for real estate, so let's look for one that's suitable. I like the images here of the houses. I think this one's quite good, actually. Let's go with this one. So we can customize this template, and we can just take out the text here and replace it with our own text. Maybe resize the icons a bit. So you can see here we have some slogan options that we generated with ChatGPT earlier that we can use as some of the copy in our logo potentially, as well as the imagery here that we have examples of. So I'm going to go back to our icon here. And then our name for this business that we decided on was Smart Listing Hub. So we can just go ahead and type that out, Smart Listing Hub. And we're going to want to make this a little more aesthetically pleasing. We could try a couple of things, such as different fonts. Even Canva has some suggestions here. And I kind of like this one here. So maybe we can just optimize this for our page. So I want to change this font to be a little more dynamic. We want it to have a good mix between professionalism and eye-catching. So here's the logo I have so far. And then we're going to just move it around a little bit. Then we're going to change the text to match ours. So the slogans that we come up with earlier here are, I like the ones that are directly value driven. So maybe we can pick this one here, AI-powered real estate success, and put that in here. And there you go. We have a logo. You can customize some of the other things. Our suggestions were to keep 1 to 2 colors only. And there you go. We have a simple logo here that we can be using for our company. Once that logo is ready, we can go ahead and hit download here. And then ideally, you're going to want to save this logo on a transparent background. So once we have that logo downloaded as a transparent background, we can go back into our document here. And then we're going into our assets section, and then we can include that here. And feel free to tweak and optimize your logo further too. I would suggest for logo design, you can have a couple different variations of the same logo. So for example, this one, we can take out the text here at the bottom when we want a more minimal logo with just that design. And then we can export that as well. You can export it with the background, without the background, just have a couple different variations that you can use. So once we exported that second minimal design, we can move it into here as well. Now we have 2 different options for our logo right here, ready to go. Let's design one more together just for practice. We're going to be taking the images we generated here from ChatGPT, and we're going to be having ChatGPT refine them and help us make a logo. So I simply downloaded this file here, and I'll re-import it back into ChatGPT and then give it some prompt directions. I like the photo here in the top right corner. So generate me a fully finished logo using the top right design as the foundation. The title of my company is Smart Listings Hub, and the slogan is AI-powered success. All right, we're going to go ahead and type that prompt in and then wait for the response. And usually the first response you get will not be optimized. So you're going to have to tweak the design a little bit. And then we're going to import the elements after into Canva and finalize the design. But the foundation is AI created. Let's go back here and wait for the responses. So here are the responses. And both of these logos look pretty good as well. I'm leaning towards this right one more. I think the image is better. So we can go ahead and take that here, download it, and then move it into Canva. And there you go. We have another logo already ready to go. You can also move it here as a design reference. And if you're going to be wanting to customize any of these elements within Canva itself, I'd recommend removing the background. Canva Pro has this feature built in, or you can use the website like Adobe Studio background remover. We'll go ahead and manually do that. You would just upload the photo here, and then AI will do it for you. So once you have this image here with the background removed, you can go ahead and crop it if you want just the logo, and then you can insert your own text There we have the logo. I can change this to make it easier to see. And if you wanted to start over, you can take this logo and then just add in more text right here to customize it further. But besides that, you have this original design as reference. So let's do another quick design just for example. I'm taking the ChatGPT designs that we came up with here earlier, and I'll just be showing you a quick way to repurpose them. So all you have to do is take the design, and for example, if you like the top right one, you can do that, and take this image here, and then you'd crop it, and then download it as a separate image. I've already done that here. And then what you're going to want to do next is upscale the image. So you go to apps here, and then upscale, go to image upscaler, and then you're going to want to upscale it as high quality as you can. Wait for that to load. And when it's finished, it should look like this. There's a very clear difference. You could always regenerate it in ChatGPT as well. So we're going to go ahead and replace the image here. So it's clear, as you can see. The quality is a lot better now. And then we're just going to simply remove the background here. And then we can crop out the bottom part with the text. And perfect. Now we have our logo. Alternatively too, for ChatGPT, when you're having it generate these logos, you can ask for just the iconography itself on a transparent background instead of having the text here. But this text is also helpful to have to see what kind of font styles and spacing that you would use with that logo. So once you have this logo here, the next thing we're going to do is add some text. We could just copy this here, and we could even match the background colors to be the same as the ones in this. And I think the white font works well. So we can do something like this and then change the font a little bit. The font in our example here was a little bit smaller and more professional. So maybe a font like this. Lower the size a little bit, make it visible. Now the slogan too if we'd like, but this is pretty good as is too. The big thing is just the font and the placement. You're going to want to just mess around with it till it looks and feels right. I like this design right here. It pretty closely resembles this one, as you can see. And I'm going to keep this design minimalistic as well. So we're just going to go ahead and download this, and we can move it to our resources page here. And there we go. We have 4 different logo examples quickly made that could be used for your business immediately. So that's pretty much it for this section here. You can see how simple it is. A big portion of it is just finding inspiration through AI. And then actually designing the logo itself is quite simple and only takes a couple minutes to do once you have all the resources ready. That's why I would recommend having this business resource document ready. It'll give you potential names for the business that you can put in one place. It'll give you examples here. You can put all your designs here. You could even have some of the imagery notes, some of the slogans you have. These are all just helpful in designing your logo and having multiple variations. So there you go. That's what we came up with. And next, we're going to be moving into the 4th step of this guide, which is going to be setting up your custom domain email. So we could actually walk through a live example here. The first step will be to go to your Zoho email. I'm going to be opening this in an incognito window, and then we can do a side-by-side listing right here. So you're going to want to set up your professional custom email address using Zoho's forever free plan, and this gets you up to 5 users. So the prerequisites for this are a registered domain name. So that's where the first step comes in, where we signed up with GoDaddy for our website. So once we have that, we need access to the domain DSN settings. And I'll go ahead and walk through this step by step for you now. So the steps to go to your custom domain email is to go to the site here with the pricings. We're going to copy and paste that. That's going to just be this website here. And then we're going to scroll up until you see sign up under their free forever plan. So we're going to go here. And then we're going to go to choose sign up with a domain I already own. So for this example, I could actually show you, since our company has a couple domains that don't have an email yet. So for example, remember how we rebranded? This is our website, leadestate.io. We actually don't have an email for this. So I'll be creating one live now. So first of all, you're going to want to sign up with the domain I already own, and we're going to want to fill out this form here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So once you sign up to your Zoho account, you can navigate to your profile here. And if you follow the steps correctly here, and you signed up with your domain name, you can go ahead and verify the domain ownership. And so my process is slightly different here, but the outcome is the same. So I'll show you how to do it. So we go to verify domain, and then instructions are as follows. You have to sign into your domain host. You have to go to the DNS records page of your domain website and locate the option to add text records. Then you add all the text records given below one by one. Once done, click validate records. So we're going to be signing into the domain host here, which in our case is going to be GoDaddy. So I have that page open right here, and then we're going to navigate to our products. And as you can see here in my GoDaddy account, I have a couple different emails linked to it. And the one we're going to be doing today is leadestate.io. So once you navigate to this page here, you see that GoDaddy itself has some native email services. You can obviously sign up for some of these plans as well, but the method we're using with Zoho is going to be free. So we recommend that for beginners. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you that that was an option here. So we're going to go ahead and navigate back to our products list here on GoDaddy. And then we're going to scroll down, find the website that we signed up for, leadestate.io. We're going to click on DNS. This opens up the DNS manager. Then you can see here's all the records. All right, so follow the simple step. So go to add new record here. For the option, we're going to want to select a text file. And then for the name, we just want to make it @ And for the character value, we can go back to Zoho here. And then we can copy this value. And you're going to want to make sure that you copy and paste it exactly the same. So no extra spaces or anything like that. And then we just want to set the TTL to as soon as possible, which is going to be 600 seconds in this case, or about 10 minutes. And then you're going to want to just wait for that to verify. Press record, proceed and confirm, and then go through the process. It's usually going to ask for OTP or verification, so you can just enter that code in. And then it should show up as success. Usually it takes place within an hour, but some can take up to 48 hours. So let's just wait a bit on that and then check again. So it should look something like this afterwards. And then we can go back to Zoho here to navigate. So we come back to Zoho here, and then you can see that your domain is finally connected. And then the next steps you're going to want to do right here is to be adding accounts and different emails to this. So how can we do that? Let's go back to the document right here. We have a link to navigate to the Zoho main console. So side note, you're going to have to sign up for the Zoho admin console, and then we're going to navigate to users, and then we could add users here. And if you press add users and you see this error, enable mail hosting for your domain to proceed, you can just simply go to domains here. This is yet to enable mail hosting. If you click on that, go ahead and switch that. And then now you should be able to go back to users and add some accounts. So for example, we want to add an account here. So we can just fill in the information in this field, add a password right here. And then it's a good idea to upload a picture too, just for professionalism and when your clients want to contact you. And as you can see here, the user is created successfully. So now we also have the secondary email, and it's Vico Khang at leadestate.io. And if we want to make another one here, we can just go to add. Same process. So Zoho, you get up to 5 free ones. So for example, I'm Ted, so I can add myself as a user here. And then the username we can do is contact, and then add a password. There you go. And the email address is set here, contact@leadestate.io. And it's as simple as that to set up accounts. And there you go. So now we're going to be moving on to the next step here, which is to set up your DNS records. So you want to add the Zoho MX records to receive emails, and then add these files here to improve deliverability. So the first thing we're going to do is navigate back to our GoDaddy page right here. And then we're going to want to delete any existing MX files. We don't see any here. So that should be good to go. And then we add Zoho's MX files from the Zoho setup screen. So how we find the Zoho MX records here is we navigate back to our Zoho console right here. We go to domains. So as you can see here, when we navigate to the domain, the status is yet to point to MX records. So let's go ahead and fix that. So once you're on this page here, we're going to click log into my DNS. And then we're going to want to log into the GoDaddy account and sync them here. So once we're logged in here, we're going to want to click the link. So we have successfully activated Zoho services for GoDaddy, and it's going to verify right now. Give that a second to load. Okay, once that's verified, you should end up with this page right here. And then we just want to follow the steps here. Once we have identified that your domain manager is GoDaddy, log into your GoDaddy DNS account. Now add the MX records from the following table to DNS settings. All right, so we can go ahead and do that together. And so let's navigate here to the GoDaddy page. Go to My Products. And then we're going to want to essentially repeat the same step we did last time. We go to leadestate.io, DNS. And then we're going to want to add each of these MX files one by one. Looks like they're already on here. So once we see that these are all properly here, MX, MX2, MX3, MX, MX2, MX3, and then the priorities are the same too. Yep, looks correct. So we can go ahead and go back here and press verify. So all your domain records are pointed to Zoho. And there we go. So now we're going to be moving on to the next step here. We successfully added the Zoho MX records. Now we want to do the same thing for the SPF and DKIM. These just helps to improve email deliverability. And the steps are pretty similar to setting up the MX records. We can just navigate back to the Zoho admin console here. Yeah, once we're in the console, you go to domains, you can see that it already knows that we haven't configured the SPF yet. If we can click here, we can follow the same steps, just log in with GoDaddy and then link them together. Pretty simple and straightforward. Now that that's successfully verified, you can see that here. Here's the value. And it's a text record. You want to make sure it's a text. We could do the DKIM as well. All right, so the next step is we're just going to want to enable it. And you can see here this error pops up. DKIM cannot be enabled for the domain as no verified default selector is present. And we can easily fix that error too. So the simple fix for this here is we just add a selector. And then we could just name it something like default. And then we're just going to want to click 2048 bits here. And then the status will come up as unverified. We'll click on that. And we can log in here. Same process, and then we just link it together. And that's why using GoDaddy and Zoho together is very convenient because they have integration already. You can see here, it's the domain key and then all the values here. And then afterwards, that's all properly set up. You can navigate back to our document here. And we can just log into your inbox. Then go to the Zoho mail inbox, copy that link, and we can go ahead and open it right here. And then we could just add extra username here. For example, like info@oedestate.io. Then you can see that email domain is ready there. And there you go. You have access to your email with your custom domains. Your account's all set. And yeah, you could use this email for your business. All right, now that's pretty much it. You set up your custom email addresses on your domain. It's fully free. And it has all the reliable inbox and sending capabilities that you need for your business. So the next final step is going to be to submit your first milestone. So once you finish setting up the Zoho email, congrats, your business looks way more professional already. So we can follow the next steps to get the most out of your new email. So the next step you're going to want to do is test and secure your emails. You're going to want to send a test email from Gmail or Outlook to make sure it's working. And then you can use this website here, mailtester.com, to check the deliverability. It's pretty straightforward here. You can add that. And then next, you can add Zoho Mail to your phone and desktop for quick access, just so that you can stay updated on any emails coming into your business. So now that we've set up and tested your email, let's move on to the next step, which is to share your business in our school community. So you're going to want to show off your new email setup as well as your current designs, and get any feedback or help if you're stuck. So here's a script that you can copy word for word. Just make sure to change in the specific elements to your designs. So just took the first steps towards building my business. You can put in your brand name here. You can upload a file, screenshot or PNG of your logo, and then you can add in your custom email here, as well as your domain name. And then you can put in a little message at the bottom. Would appreciate any feedback from the team on how it looks so far. And when you're posting, make sure to also follow these steps. You're going to be posting in the school community under the wins section. That's very important. You're going to upload a screenshot or a file of your logo. You're going to add your business name as well. And then you're also going to include a screenshot of your Zoho inbox or DNS settings just to make sure everything's okay. And then you can tag Vico Khang so that the team sees it, and then we can reply with feedback and help you address any questions you might have. All right, so then the final step here, step 3, is to join our elite community to level up. So do you want us to personally audit all of your tech stack, your lead magnets, emails? We got you. Inside the Elite, you'll get one-on-one help from our team, weekly implementation calls, and access to a bunch of extra templates, premium trainings, and ad creatives we're using right now. So our school community right here has a bunch of free courses available, these first 6 lessons here. But if you want to go even more in depth, we have a bunch more lessons available for our Elite membership that you can check out here. So if you're interested in that, make sure to click on this link to join the Elite and get some more information. You can see all the information here, as well as book a one-on-one roadmap call. You'll get direct support, real-time feedback, and the exact tools we use to generate clients and revenue every single day. So imagine not doing this alone, not getting stuck again, because our team is right there to help you. We can help you scale the simple business you started with just those 3 elements right here into your first 10K per month with a system that's scalable and predictable. So if you're serious about taking your business to the next level and making it into your full-time income, this is your next step. Join the Elite Mastermind. Yeah, and that's it. Hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.